if you're having sex and it costs you 40 grand, you're doing something wrong.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we're bringing in more influencers, more celebrities, and today we have Too Hot to Handle Season 3 alumni, Obi Nnadi. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on?
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me, honestly. I appreciate it.
I found this guy, I saw him. I'm like, this guy is like a fitness god, your aura. I'm like, I've never seen a man in better shape. He's got to be someone. So I went up and shook your hand.
Yeah, I was literally on the way home from the gym that day, actually. And when you were talking to me, I was still hopped up on a pre-workout. That's why I was talking so fast. But I'm glad I got your Instagram, and I'm glad we're here today.
The juices were flowing. This guy was like at his Hulk mode. But yeah, so I was like, dude, you're doing big things in this city. Obviously, I watched the show. My wife's obsessed with the show. And you were a big star on it and doing big things for Toronto.
Yeah, I'm honestly, everything happened so fast, but I'm glad it went down the way it went down. Till this day, I'm still in shock. Like when people talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. So it took a little bit of getting used to, because when you're outside, you get these looks from people, and usually I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, and then oh, they're actually looking at me for a reason. Okay, I get it now. Like, it took a little bit of getting used to, but I think I got it down now.
You're definitely famous in this city. When you get on a big show like that, that's global, Netflix.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're turning heads. Has it worked in your favor with the ladies?
Yeah, but I try not to pay attention to it. Lana says to focus on the ones that you're supposed to.
Oh my, you got more therapy out of it than you got sex?
No, Lana says to focus on the right girls, and it'll pay off in the long run. So I'm trying to find the right one right now. That's what I'm on.
Beautiful. We're going to talk way more about Too Hot to Handle, stuff that went on behind the scenes. But before we do that, because this is before they're famous, I just kind of want to know more about your come up. I want to know about being a Canadian. I want to know, like, where are you from? Like, tell me your story.
I was originally born in Nigeria. I lived there for about like 10, 12 years of my life, and then I moved to, believe it or not, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Yeah. No cap. Honestly, the funniest thing ever was my entire family hopping off of the flight. We're all in like shorts and slides. It's like October. We're like, oh, it's gonna be nice out. Literally, the first thing we did was see snow. This was back in 2012, I believe. First things first. As soon as we hopped off the flight, we saw snow, and I was like, wow, massive culture shock for sure. Like, first time I ever tried ketchup, first time I ever like tried any of like the Canadian snacks and stuff like that. Like, everything was so new to me, and it was amazing. Honestly.
Sometimes you say things, I catch a little accent. Like, did you have a big accent when you came?
It was mad, bro. My entire middle school life was me trying to get rid of the stupid accent. And like over time, I started realizing that it's actually what makes me unique. But bro, as a kid, bro, when nobody wants to talk to you because they can't really understand what you're saying, it puts a little bit of damp in your day, bro. Like,
for those of you who are watching who don't know Canada, like Winnipeg's, I don't know, it's probably as white as it gets. Yeah. It's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Were you the only black guy in town?
Damn near. Like, I'm not gonna say that, because Canada as a whole is very like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Multicultural.
Yeah, very multicultural. It's a very multicultural country as a whole, and being in Winnipeg was one of the places where you didn't see that many black people, but there was also like the native people, and the black people that you did see, they've been there for a while. Like, it's like generations after generations. So yeah. I mean, being an immigrant in Winnipeg, very, very, very difficult, right? But I'm glad I enjoyed it. Like, growing up, doing weird things like playing hockey. Like, I didn't even know what hockey was, but I learned how to skate because all my friends were skaters and all my friends were hockey players, and playing for my high school hockey team. Like, I literally, like, you go to practice and you're looking around, you're like, I'm the only odd one out here. Like, what's that about? And then over time you start to realize, like, there's different things that you couldn't do, and the one thing that I found that I was really good at was rugby and football. So I was like, okay, enough with the hockey thing. I'm gonna go over here where I'm actually able to succeed more. So
football.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, obviously you're like a natural born athlete. You're like genetically a perfect specimen.
Are you gassing me right now?
Man. No, I'm looking at this guy's Instagram. I'm like, I got no hope. If he's in town, I'm done.
Michael, you gotta buy him dinner or something, bro. Like, over here looking at his muscles. But I'm not gonna lie, Like, I'm kind of regretting my short sleeve decision today, you know, just because of Obi, you know.
You know, you gents look great.
You know, one funny thing you did say, though, because he pointed out your accent, you know, and you said it's mud. So, you know, you went from Nigerian to a Toronto accent real quick there, you know.
No, actually, though, I realized, like, okay, the one thing that a lot of people were telling me about is that when they saw me on the show, they could hear an accent, but because I wasn't using any Toronto slang, they didn't think I was from Toronto. I'm like, yo, what do you want me to be on the show? Like, yo, wagwan, I got a reputation.
There's a lot of people that are like rooting for you to use the Nigerian accent, the Toronto accent, Canadian accent.
I'm like, I'm gonna just be myself. You guys take it how you want.
Can't please everybody.
Atlanta might deduct money just for you throwing that out there. That's crazy. So then, how did football? Did that get you like a scholarship? Or
what? So what the thing that happened with football was, like, realistically, I was supposed to come to Toronto for a scholarship, for a football scholarship, but you know, due to like head injuries and like literally my whole body was dismantled from rugby and football, playing both of those really, really aggressive sports. And over time, like, my doctor literally sat me down and was like, bro, you're gonna be a vegetable if you keep getting hit like this, bro. So I was weighing out my options, and I decided that, you know, maybe just going the fitness route would definitely be better in long term, rather than like getting my head punched in every day on the field, right? Yeah. So that's kind of how the whole fitness thing started for me. So
what did you take in school? Was it kinesiology or?
No, I actually went to school for business management, but then I got my certification from CanFit Pro. I got my certification as a fitness trainer and a fitness instructor. I started working at like local gyms like F45, and you know, just training people in general, and I actually found a passion for it, bro. There's honestly something about somebody looking at you and being like, I feel so much more better about myself, and I feel better about what I see in the mirror, and it's all thanks to you. When somebody like that makes me happy, that's what gives me joy, you know what I mean? That's, I don't know, it's a weird thing for me.
So pre-pandemic, I used to go to a trainer, believe it or not, and I was looking a lot better, but his name was fucking Obi.
No way!
It was a Nigerian guy.
No way! No, like, I don't believe it.
He's like your doppelganger, just 20 years older.
I want to see a photo of this guy.
I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys probably hit it off.
Yo, that's sick.
Yeah. Okay, so then you're kicking around Toronto, you're doing your business, you're changing people's lives, and then all of a sudden, how do you get on this show? Are you like a model? Like, how does it work?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was honestly by luck. I don't want to say it's by luck, but like there's a little bit of luck to it, because there was over 3,000 applicants that applied for this show, and at the time we didn't even know we were applying for Too Hot to Handle. We thought we were applying for a show called Parties in Paradise. That's what
Is that a show, or that's
no,
just a made
it's
up
not.
name?
But I went onto Google, and I'm Googling this because I'm like, I want to know what the show is about. Like, is there previous seasons or whatever? So I'm Googling it. They're like, oh, it's brand new. It's gonna be on Netflix. Like, it's a show about partying on boats with hot singles. I'm like, sign me up. So I fill out the form, and I'm like, you know, going through this interview process. But like, me just being a slick cat, like, you know, when you're on Zoom and you can see the names at the bottom of the thing. So I'm Googling these people that are interviewing me. I find out that one of the producers there was a producer for X Factor. One of them was a producer for like some Canadian Got Talent or something, like Americans Got Talent, whatever. I'm like, yo, these are like legit producers. Like, these people are actually like very famous in the industry. Maybe I should take this a little bit seriously. And so from then on out, I actually started taking the interview process seriously. Like, but they were wild questions. They're like, so tell me what you would talk to a girl like at the bar. Like, how would you pick up a girl? So I'm like, I'm talking to this laptop, like talking spitting game and this and that. They're like, yo, show us your dance moves. Like, take your shirt off, this and that. This is an interview, bro. I've never ever done anything this crazy before. So I'm wilding out on camera, doing all this crazy stuff, and then they're like, bro, we love your vibe, we want to fly you down. I end up finding out that they actually flew down 30 contestants, and only 15 people made it on the show. So when I say luck, that's what I mean, right? Like,
there's people sitting in a green room waiting to get on the show, and
like,
they're watching you in that room.
And because it's all like matchmaking, right? So you tell them exactly what your type is, and once you get in there, you just see her walking, and you're like, yo, that's literally what I said. Like, the butt, the hair, the face, the eye color, everything. Like, wow. It's mod. And then they're like, you can't touch her. They're like, this is exactly what you want. but you can't touch it. I'm like, oh. So
I want to get into all the sex stuff because I'm actually like a bit of a.
I love how hyped you're getting for this.
Yeah, we do a lot of adult stars on this show. It's the internet. People like, what are people Googling sex sells? But I actually, because I grew up, I got like 10, 15 years on you. Like when people hooked up on Jersey Shore, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're doing that. But now everyone's doing everyone. So I don't know, like in my head at my age, I'm like, I don't know if I could bang on camera because it'd be out there forever. But you're telling me off camera you don't care.
No, honestly though, like for me, it's like, I think there's already so much dumbness out there that it's like the least that like I could care less. Like personally, I could care less. Maybe it's because I'm just like very open about things. I'll talk about anything with anybody. Like I don't care, right? But in that moment,
you probably look a lot better doing it than I would. So, anyway.
Stop. No, but in that moment, being in the villa with the rest of the gang and like with the money on the line and stuff, like I don't have 200. Do you have $200,000 to give away for free? Like I don't have $200,000. So when they're talking about the money, I was like, I don't think there's any girl worth $6,000 for a kiss. The most I've ever spent on a date is probably like a couple bills, like that, and that's like in,
Yeah.
That's just
Puts your
me,
priorities in check.
Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I got bills to pay. Like you guys are talking about $6K for a kiss, bro. It's like $40K if you bang somebody. I'm like, just deep down inside me, I wouldn't feel right doing it.
$40,000 body got to be worth it.
No, I wouldn't feel right doing it.
crazy.
Honestly.
I love that. I love that you're kind of like cheap, but you're also real. Like you're like you're real. Like that's the real way to think about it. But he's like, I'd rather be cheap than bang these chicks. Like he's logical.
Yeah. No, because the thing is, like, money is different for everybody, and that's why I came to find out. Like there was people on the show that their parents are super well off. Like one of the cast members, like his mom was a lawyer, and his dad like is a.
Which one's that?
A lord.
The British guy.
Yeah. So it's like. He takes helicopters for meetings. I take DTC. It's a little bit different, bro. It's a little bit different when it comes to like our type. Like when we think about money, completely different levels. Like you know what I mean. So that's probably why.
Totally. Makes a lot of sense.
When you talk about that, like, sort of distinction, like, between the rest of the cast, like, some of them, like, have this different upbringing that's, like, mad privilege and stuff like that. I'm gonna ask this question because I feel like I'm better to ask it than Michael does. Do you feel like your treatment on the show and the way that they like ask you questions, even like that wild interview process, do you feel like you being a black man, you get like a different set of treatment sometimes? Do you feel othered in that sense?
We're getting serious. Hold on. Shay's gotta come off. Shay's gotta come off. No, that's a great question, bro, and I appreciate you asking that. I did feel a little bit of like there was something I can't really put a finger on it, but I did feel like I was treated a little bit differently because I was the only black guy on there.
Word.
But at the same time, like I'm used to that, being in Canada, being in a predominantly white country. I'm very, very used to being an outlier, right? So I didn't really take it to heart, but then I noticed that like after the show aired, like you go on Twitter and they're coming for for you, talking about like, oh, how you kicked the first black girl out, like, cause Jazz was one of the first people to leave, right? And they're like, oh, like you didn't bring any black girls for Obi, like I'm like, oh, you guys are serious, like, cause I wasn't really thinking about all of this until people started saying it. Right, if that makes any sense.
I'm pretty like, and then there's also like light-skinned guys on that show too, right? So then they also feel like you gotta like show out for like the dark-skinned males and stuff. Like there's like they put all that on you,
Yeah,
so it's like there
it's a little bit of pressure for sure, but I mean, I didn't back down from it. I'm never a guy that backs down from any sort of pressure. So
you played hockey, so I've always heard people say that any black man that grew up playing hockey in Canada knows about racism. You know, so it sounds like you were well equipped for it, and you navigated it well, bro. So
no, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, bro. No, listen. My whole life has been overcoming different sort of obstacles, especially when it comes to race and stuff like that. So, being the only black guy on the show, cool experience. But I don't let it be the be all end all for me. You know what I mean? It's just a race, bro. We're all humans here. It's just a race. It's just a skin color.
I find it interesting how they kind of pre-matched you. So, like, did you tell them your
bro.
ideal woman's a black woman?
Oh my God, they went deep into, because at first they were like, so what's your type? I'm like, oh, you know, I don't have a type. Da, da, da. They're like, no. What's your type? We want to know the hair length. We want to know the speck of color in her eyes.
She's
like,
Scorpio or Capricorn.
That's what I mean. They went super deep into it. Like, what's her weight? Like, I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, you know what? I would like if she looked like this, if she did this, if she da da da.
Who's your what celebrity would you say is your ideal girl?
Oh God, I mean,
like Brittany Renner.
Right?
I did a video on her yesterday. I'm like, that is a good-looking woman.
That's the person you gotta have on here. That's one person that you gotta have on here for sure. I feel like she'd be a blast to talk to.
Yeah.
My celebrity crush, I would definitely say J-Lo. J-Lo has always been like I don't care if she's 50. I don't care if she's 60 years old. J-Lo will always be bad.
Facts. Yeah.
J-Lo will always be bad. Like, so like Rihanna, like those are like my top tier like celebrity crush forever and ever. Like you can't get any better than that.
So, and then because they've kind of typecast who you're going to be matched up with, are there people infringing, like they get there and they're like, I actually want to be with that
Oh
person.
yeah.
Like,
As
switching up.
soon as you get there, you're like, wait, everybody here is bad. Like I don't have to go for the one they wanted me to go to. So that's when it becomes chaotic.
That's cool.
You can really be choosy then,
Yeah.
right?
Some careers have obviously blown up. Like Harry Jowsey's the king of OnlyFans. He's doing, and he's with a girl from your season. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I see him in Georgia. They're having a little bit of a thing going on. I don't know what that's about. Like realistically, I mean, I feel like because they're both Australian, so they probably kicked off because of that. But I don't have much to say about it. I think it's cute. You know, good luck to them, and hopefully it gets better from here.
Yeah. And then there's other, like Francesca became like Cruella DeVille. Like everyone was just bashing on her, I found.
Yeah, I don't know Francesca personally. Like Harry, I've actually spent time with, and we worked out together. We've like when I was out in LA, we used to hang out sometimes. But Francesca, I've never really even had a conversation with her, right? But realistically, I know that she's a nice person, and you know the internet can be a crazy place, though. They will make some stuff up like oh my God, for entertainment, the internet will do a lot of wild things, bro.
Volatile.
I've actually met some of the people that grew up with her out in Ottawa, and they were saying, you know what? She's always wanted this her entire life. She was desperate to be famous, and you know what? You got to give someone a round of applause to go through all the hoops you went through.
Oh yeah.
And everyone of our generation or younger knows who she is, so that's a big accomplishment.
Hey, shout out Francesca.
Shout out Francesca. Speaking of chaos, before we wrap up, there is like anytime I get somebody in here, I do need to touch on this type of stuff.
Oh God.
So you know, like we've kind of described already, we're recording this in the great city of Toronto, and I feel like the reputation that Toronto women have is polarizing, if I would. You know, you ask an NBA player or a celebrity, it's Caravana weekend now, all the celebs are going to be in town.
Yeah, it is Caravana weekend.
You know, like they love Toronto women, and Toronto women, they're always talking about Toronto men, how they, you know, aren't, you know, cutting it properly and stuff, and you are on a TV show, a really popular one about dating. So in a way, you're kind of representing the Toronto men, you know? Yeah. And there's this whole dynamic about the Toronto men and Toronto women. So someone who's been around lots of beautiful women, like, do you feel like Toronto women are elite? Like, are they top shelf the way that all these celebrities and NBA players make them out to be?
I definitely think there's a lot of fire looking women in Toronto. Like, listen, I was at a music video shoot not too long ago, and it was for an A-list celebrity. You could probably guess who it is, but I walked into the music video and I was like, every single girl in here is beautiful. Shout out Toronto for that. No cap. They have some of the, like, now when it comes down to personality, like it's a different it's a different go. But looks wise, Toronto is up there for sure when it comes to good looking women.
Word, okay.
When they mix a few different ingredients in there, which they do here, beautiful stuff gets created.
Trust me.
Like better than like LA and Miami and those.
Oh yeah, chill. No, I'm joking. No, the thing is, like, LA is like mostly filled with like models and like content creators and influencers and stuff like that. Like Toronto's like just regular girls, like literally girls that I went to university with. I'll see them out in the clubs and I'm like, you don't look like this at 8 a.m. in class. Like, you know what I mean?
I went to the same university, so I see the exact
you know
same.
What I mean?
So touching on that, we're going to kind of wrap things up here, but I know you are a content creator in the city. You're big on TikTok. Be sure to follow him, Obi Boulevard. He's also on Instagram. What kind of content you posting? What's your plans? Right
now, it's a lot of fitness content. I just released my app online. It's a fitness app. It's got nutrition, all sorts of like. Literally, you can check in on me, and I can check in on you. We can literally like work out together just virtually, right? So it's like one of the biggest projects that I've been working on. It's this fitness app, and everything that I've done so far in terms of like social media is just literally promoting the app and just trying to get as many people aware of the fact that I'm not just a whore. Like I actually know what I'm doing, and I'm actually a fitness trainer and a fitness instructor, and you know the body looks good, but the brain's up there too. I can help you achieve some goals. Just give me a little bit of time. Give me 6 months. I'll change your life. You know?
Book a session now.
Yeah, book a session now.
My wife was just grilling me. It's time to get back to the gym. So you might get a client out of me, bro.
Listen, the last Obi might not have done it, but this Obi will. I got you. I got you.
Oh shit!
I got you.
Shit! Great. Okay, man. So be sure to check him out. Give him a follow on TikTok, on Instagram. You might see him in Toronto. So buy the man a drink. Are you drinking, man?
Just a little bit. Only tequila.
Even that's like the healthiest drink.
Yeah,
that's
No sugar. Get him that Casamigo shot.
yeah,
He deserves it.
Casamigos. Yeah.
smart guy. All right, thanks so much for coming in, Obi.
Thank you very much for having me, bro.
Do you think if they called you to come back on the show, would you go back?
Oh yeah, it was a good time, bro. I would definitely go back. Plus, I have a personal vendetta to pick with Lana. She actually pissed me off, so
Word.
we got something to talk about.
You might see him actually, getting it on under the sheets, but the 40 grand, it's not worth it.
No, negative. It is not worth. If you're having sex and it costs you 40 grand, you are doing something wrong.